Coming up on Global Business, new milestone. Ecuadorian legislators approve a free trade pact with China, aiming to boost trade and bolster the economy. Tech frenzy. Amid high optimism about global growth, a new survey says that investors are going all in on U.S. technology stocks. And healthy surge, China is witnessing a historic surge in travel as the Spring Festival holiday draws to a close with record-breaking numbers in travel. Good evening from Beijing, and this is Global Business on CGTN. I'm Lily Lu. We begin with Ecuador, which has become the fourth Latin American country to ratify a free trade agreement with China. Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa signed an executive order ratifying the agreement on Thursday. The deal with China is expected to boost bilateral trade and Ecuador's economy. Our correspondent Nicolas Suarez reports.
With 76 votes in favor, 23 against, and 35 abstentions, Ecuador's National Assembly ratified a free trade agreement with China, signaling a new era in economic cooperation.
We have the potential to create more than 50,000 jobs, with a growth of more than 32% in our exportable supply.
China has become Ecuador's second largest trading partner. According to Ecuador's central bank, between January and November 2023, trade between the two countries amounted to more than $10 billion. Under the trade agreement, tariffs will eventually be eliminated on nearly all of Ecuador's exports to China. This is the fourth deal signed by the Asian giant in Latin America after Peru, Chile, and Costa Rica, reflecting China's commitment to fostering closer economic ties with the region. Daniel Legarda, a former minister, was involved in the free trade negotiations.
The free trade agreement is a main milestone in the bilateral relation, especially in terms of trade and investment and what the future can accomplish with this important tool.
According to Ecuador's National Chamber of Aquaculture, Ecuador sold more fish and seafood to China than any other country in 2022. In fact, for every 100 shrimp that China bought that year, 70 came from Ecuador. José Antonio Camposano is with the country's National Chamber of Aquaculture.
Practically 99% of the national supply will experience a reduction in tariffs in a very short time. The trade agreement also builds spaces for the exchange of technical information. A large part of the investments that are permanently made in the country are intended to adapt our industry to serve the largest market in the world, which is China.
Officials say the trade deal will lead to diversification of other exports to China, including agriculture.
If the country manages to do good foreign trade, a very broad panorama opens up. Even the quinoa produced by Ecuador would fall short. The possibilities will increase as long as the government promotes the planting of quinoa at rational prices for the exporter and teaches all people how to export, not just the companies that currently do.
As Ecuador enters this new economic chapter with China, strategic planning will be key to ensuring sustainable growth. Nicolas Suarez, CGTN, Quito, Ecuador.
Well, under this free trade agreement, 90% of the goods traded between China and Ecuador will be eligible for tariff exemptions, with 60% of tariff to be immediately eliminated. Let's take a look at the main categories. Ecuador's agricultural products will be the primary beneficiaries of this FTA when exported to China. Items like bananas, white shrimp, and fish, which previously incurred tariffs ranging from 5 to 20% upon entry into China, will now be duty-free. Conversely, China's exports of plastic goods, chemical fibers, machinery, and other products to Ecuador will gradually see their tariffs to 5 to 40% being phased out. And earlier, we spoke with Professor Zhang Gong from the University of International Business and Economics on the trade ties between the two countries. Professor Gong said that the free trade agreement will not only enhance trade ties, but also bring more investments to benefit enterprises from both sides. Take a listen.
Ecuador, as you reported, is the 4th or 5th country that has signed free trade agreement with China now. I think it's actually signed last year. It took some time for the Ecuadorian parliament to pass this bill. Even though it was passed, with a pretty slim margin, but nevertheless, it was indeed passed, which is very good for us. I think, I think the benefits accrued a lot to the Ecuadorian side. We're actually buying a lot of agricultural products, especially shrimp and fish. I guess I've eaten my fair share of Ecuadorian shrimp over the years. I would expect that the shrimp prices will probably drop in the next few years. Anyway, it's always good that trade will increase as a result of reduced tariffs, and that creates jobs in both countries. I think mostly for the Ecuadorian economy. And I also want to point out that this is actually more than just a trade agreement. It also has provisions regarding investment sides as well. For example, regarding the mining industry, Chinese investment in the mining industry, and other investment areas. So I think this is a very good example of how China can sign a free trade agreement with a small and medium-sized economy that generates benefits for both sides. And as a result, I have seen reports that this pact is expected to increase trade by $3-4 billion on top of between $10 to $12 billion of trade currently right now. So that's a pretty significant increase, and amounting to about 25 to 30% of increase as a result.
Switching gears now. Tech stocks are all the rage this season, capturing the attention of investors worldwide. A monthly survey by the Bank of America reveals a significant uptick in Wall Street's investment in U.S. technology stocks. That is particularly in the Magnificent Seven group, which includes Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon. In the meantime, across the Pacific, hedge fund Sion and Canadian pension fund manager CPPIB are significantly increasing their stakes in China's tech sector, with a focus on leading firms like Alibaba and JD, major players in the country's e-commerce industry. And let's get more details on why investors are choosing to go all in on tech stocks. For that, we cross live to our correspondent John Terrett in New York. Hi there, John. I know you're in the New York Stock Exchange. So tell us, what has been driving Wall Street's enthusiasm for those tech stocks?
Hey, Lily Lou, I've got 2 letters for you. Are you ready? Just 2 letters.
Sure.
A-I. Okay, it's as simple as that. It's all you need to know. AI is the catalyst that is driving investing into tech stocks at the moment over here. And Cathie Wood, who's a well-known Wall Street investor, has just been on television here. And she said just now that she reckons 60% of equity value very soon is going to be wrapped up with AI one way or another. And I think those who invest wisely in AI, including Chinese companies, of course, as you said in the intro, and then those companies that use AI very wisely, are going to see spectacular returns in the future. And the best example I have for you, just to help you understand why this is working at the moment the way it is, training costs, okay? Companies need to train staff, often all around the world. Well, using AI, right now, training costs are coming down by between 70 and 80%. So you can see that's a wise use of AI and something that we're going to see more of in the future. Now, investors here bet on the future of these technology stocks. Most of it happens at the NASDAQ in Times Square, where there are plenty of Chinese companies too, as you know. But the focus now is NVIDIA, which started in 1993 in Santa Clara in California and is now one of the 3rd biggest US corporations, flirting with Apple and Microsoft. This week alone, it bypassed Amazon and Apple, and its focus is AI, including making high-end chips for China. Now, the high-end chips it makes for China are a little bit slower than the ones we get here in order to comply with restrictions coming out of Washington, D.C. You understand that. But NVIDIA will give us its earnings after the closing bell at 21 hours GMT next Wednesday. And it's going to be very, very interesting. And to show you how much growth there's been in AI, stroke NVIDIA, their stock a couple of years ago, $127 per share, 127, now $726. 726, that's a 6-time improvement. And as you said in the intro, this is largely down to the Magnificent Seven, which is Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta, NVIDIA, and Tesla. I couldn't quite remember them off the top of my head, but they were responsible for between 25 and 50% growth in stocks at the broad market here, the S&P 500 last year. But there is a warning. Tech companies are laying off thousands of workers, especially Meta Platforms and Salesforce, which is another one. There is a prediction that they're moving into tougher times as we move into 2024. However, the flip of that is that we are expecting significant rate cuts here in America ahead of the election in November. And if that happens, a lot of tech companies carry a lot of debt because they're basically startups. So if rates are coming down, that means they have to pay less each month to service that debt. And that's likely only to encourage yet more investing in tech, led by the belief right now in AI. It could be a bubble. There was a bubble in 2002 when the dot-coms burst. Nobody knows what a bubble looks like, of course, Lily Lu, until it bursts.
Right. Great stuff. Thank you so much, John. That was very insightful. Thank you very much, John Terrett, for us in New York. And now let's get more discussions on the recent surge in demand for tech stocks. And now we are joined by Mr. Chen Jiahe, Chief Investment Officer of NovemRK Technologies. Jiahe. So first of all, the big question is, are those AI companies currently profitable? I mean, other than the Magnificent Seven, there are smaller ones. You mean, given the soaring stocks, that's related to this AI, frenzy worldwide?
Well, regarding the profitability, it depends on which kind of AI companies are we talking about. The companies relating with AI fundamentals, such as computer chips, are certainly making money, but they are not making that much money as shown by the stock prices, since there has been a certain degree of competition among these companies. And when we talk about software AI companies, like the companies making document researches, producing videos, most of them are not making much profit yet, since most of these AI programs have just came out, and the industry application of them are not yet fully discovered. But the stock market is certainly making a very good prediction of these AI companies. And I think the market might have been a little overreacting, and the valuation of many AI companies as well as tech companies has been a bit too expensive. So recently we have seen that the legendary investor Warren Buffett has sold some of his tech holdings. This might really mean something about the valuation of these companies.
Well, that's good insights there. So, yeah, investors will need to, get more information, collect more information before they actually put a bet on certain AI stocks. Now, the next question is: do you think that AI will significantly be altering the economy's operation, or do you think that its impact will be limited to specific industries, while most people will just continue with our regular routines?
Well, I don't think AI at this moment will alter every industry that we are in. For example, most part of the tourism economy will remain just unchanged. The aviation industry might remain roughly the same, and the nuclear power sector will stay almost unchanged. And the banks will still function the same way that they have been working for hundreds of years. So for people working in these industries, well, lucky them, they will not feel a direct change from the AI, but they will still be benefited as the AI will increase the GDP. But for some other industries, there will be a huge change. For example, the filming industry will be changed a lot. The cost of producing films will drop significantly because of the AI. The junior analysts at investment banks will feel the pressure, since AI will take away many jobs of writing documents. So for the change brought by the AI, it will really depend on which industry are we talking about.
Also, in which areas do you think that China is actually leading in the field of AI, and which sectors that China is striving to catch up?
Is on one hand a very large market, and on the other hand still a developing economy. So it is actually pretty easy to find the strengths and weakness of the Chinese economy on the AI sector. China's AI program has been leading with some aspects such as internet shopping, social communication, short video, live streaming, etc. Based on the large amount of consumers, China's AI analysis program can quickly find the most attractive e-commerce products. We have been pretty good at organizing things like delivery networks, shared driving, etc. On the other hand, with things like AI-related computer chips, leading AI programs in areas like video generation, text dialogue, China's AI companies are still lagging behind.
Well, Jiahe, great stuff, and I was hoping that you can stay with us for a bit longer. We need to, get more discussions after we take a look at the latest mind-blowing development from OpenAI. That is the company that is responsible for ChatGPT. It has announced the development of a new groundbreaking product. OpenAI is currently working on Sora. a software that is capable of producing minute-long videos based on text prompts and animating still images. Well, the Microsoft-backed company is also in the process of creating tools to verify whether a video has been generated by Sora. Well, the software is currently available for red teaming, which tests the system's security. It is also open to visual artists, designers, and filmmakers for feedbacks. Now let's get more discussions on this latest development as we bring back Jia He. Hi there, Jia He. So how do you think will this exceptional quality of OpenAI's video generator revolutionize the film and short video industry upon its debut?
Well, I have seen a few short videos published by the Sora, and I have also read through many comments about it. Well, these videos are amazing, but if we want to use them to replace the film and short videos that we are currently having, there is still some gap. You still feel it is not 100% real, but maybe say 98% real. 98% real. But the thing is that we have to expect for the development. AI program will advance in the future. Sooner or later, the new version of Sora or other programs will be able to produce films and short videos that are barely no different from the real ones, but at a cost of much less than 1%. So at that time, the AI program will pose a lot of change to the film industry, as well as the short videos. The cost will be dropped dramatically, and we will be able to see much more products. But the question is, will people really like the films produced by the AI? I think by that time, this is up to the market to decide. People will pay if they like it, and will not pay if they don't.
And everyone can actually produce a short video or a film by then. That's interesting. Thank you very much, Jia He, for your insights. That's Mr. Chen Jiahe, Chief Investment Officer of Novum Market Technologies for us. And staying with tech, U.S. tech giant Microsoft is set to make its largest investment in Germany in 40 years, totaling approximately $3.4 billion with a specific focus on the artificial intelligence sector. The investment aims to double Microsoft's AI capacity and expand its data center infrastructure in Germany, along with enhancing training programs, according to company president Brad Smith. The move aligns with efforts by German leaders to bolster the country's business appeal, particularly in sectors such as battery, chip, and pharmaceuticals. The export-oriented German economy has been grappling with the effects of weakening global demand, with industry authorities warning of a potential 0.5% contraction in the economy this year, marking the second consecutive year of recession and the most severe downturn in 2 decades. Artificial intelligence is fast becoming a handy tool that could revolutionize South Africa's mining industry. The sector has already adopted AI in several areas. As Nama Adrizak reports, AI could also help to enhance safety of workers, ensure greater efficiency, and contribute to environmental sustainability.
South Africa's mining industry employs over 450,000 people. Most mining operations happen deep underground and remain risky despite efforts to reduce fatalities. Tech developers are now turning to artificial intelligence to monitor working conditions and, in some cases, predict equipment failures to keep miners safe.
Recently, we've developed what we call a TMM digital twin, which is TMM stands for trackless mobile machinery, a digital twin that enables mining to dynamically analyze their risk within a mining environment. But aligned with that, it also supports mining for them to measure their fuel consumption linked to fuel efficiency, hence ensuring that we are turning data into intelligence to support decision making in the mining industry.
The Council for Scientific Research works closely with coal miners, often exposed to dust fires and other life-threatening conditions.
So we have a virtual reality training experience that puts them inside a real emergency situation in a mine. It engulfs your senses, you can hear, you can see, and you start believing that you're really in trouble. So what you need to do then is you need to remember what you've been taught, and you need to execute really quickly.
Occupational health and safety hazards have marred this sector throughout its 150-year history, claiming thousands of lives. There has been a significant decrease in both deaths and accidents since 1995, but AI is expected to boost these efforts further to prevent dozens of workers dying each year.
I think there's lots of room to be done around improving that environment for our miners. And I mean, improving it is not a selfish requirement. It actually helps the mine be more productive, because if you've got less incidences, you've got less shutdown time, and that obviously improves your productivity.
With mining a significant contributor to GDP in South Africa, the employment of AI-powered systems goes well beyond safety, making mining operations smarter and more efficient as the industry steps up to the green revolution. Najma Abdirizak, CGTN.
You're watching Global Business on CGTN. Still to come on the program. Healthy surge. China is witnessing a historic surge in travel as the Spring Festival holiday draws to a close, with record-breaking numbers in travel.
The world economy as we know it is about to change. Global business reports highlight emerging markets, developing countries, and dynamic sectors worldwide. We feature top analysts and newsmakers to provide perspectives on every facet of business. From an on-the-ground perspective, we provide you with balanced and objective assessments. Fast, sharp, and insightful. Global Business. Only on CGTN.
China is witnessing a historic surge in travel as the Spring Festival holiday draws to a close, with record-breaking numbers on the way. The national railway system handled a staggering 15.16 million passenger trips yesterday, surpassing the previous day's record. Authorities anticipated about 15.3 million today, prompting the addition of over 1,800 extra train services. And similarly, the country's highways experienced a significant jump in traffic, with 70.17 million vehicle movements recorded on Thursday. And to accommodate this peak travel period, the Civil Aviation Administration has approved additional flights on popular routes, particularly to and from Haikou in Hainan province, to ease pressure on ground transport. Hainan's railway system and ferry services have ramped up operations for better connectivity as well. And earlier, our reporter Zheng Songwu spoke to movie enthusiasts in southwest China's Sichuan province to gather their opinions on the films that premiered during the Spring Festival holiday.
6 films were shown during the week-long Spring Festival holiday from February 10th to 17th, and over 100 million tickets have been sold as of the 6th day of the festival. The box office collection in each of the first 3 days surpassed 1 billion yuan, which is over $130 million. The 3 films with top box office revenue were YOLO, Pegasus 2, and Boonie Bears Time Twist. Viewers spoke highly of these films.
I wanted to watch some comedy films with my family during this festival of reunions, but the films went far beyond my expectations. For example, the story in YOLO was so inspiring, so I believe it was a good thing to watch it with my child.
I had heard about the film YOLO on my WeChat moment, so I wanted to feel the positive energy the film sends out. I hope it can help me get a good start to the year.
Most of the young generation have traveled from Chengdu to their hometowns during the Spring Festival, leaving the theaters in central Chengdu not too busy. Yet the films have drawn viewers of all ages.
Young people form the majority of viewers, but the films in this holiday are varied, so they attract viewers of most age groups. Most watch the films with their families. YOLO and Pegasus 2 are the most popular ones because they are comedies.
We visited another theater in Chengdu. It has a vintage look. The theater boasts of old-style film projectors made in Germany and France, as also old posters. The manager told us that the latest favorites contributed a lot to the revenue.
The films of this festive season focus on diverse and relevant topics that resonate with the viewers. such as family values and inspirational stories. So they attract people from all walks of life. There will be another busy period when the younger generation returns to Chengdu after the holiday.
Viewers' expectations from films released during the Spring Festival holidays are rising, and the Chinese film industry is developing rapidly. So box office revenue keeps going up as the Spring Festival holiday continues. 郑颂 CGTN, Chengdu, Sichuan Province.
And Chinese New Year celebrations are ongoing throughout February in various parts of the United States. In Southern California this year, Disneyland Adventure Park hosted a Mulan New Year's parade to celebrate the Year of the Dragon, which has been particularly well received. Our correspondent Edis Tiansen attended the festivities in Anaheim.
Swirling colors in the ribbons.
The Year of the Long, or Dragon in English, is in full swing, and celebrations have kicked off at Disney's California Adventure Park. A Chinese New Year procession fills the street with music, exquisite costumes, and traditional dances by Asian performing troupes.
Right now it's the Lunar New Year, and so just coming down here for the delicious food, this parade, even though it's short, the music is beautiful, the costumes are beautiful, there's dragons. It's dragons. It's the perfect reason to come.
Parades are taking place multiple times a day throughout this month, drawing large crowds from all over the country.
We're celebrating my granddaughter, so we came to get stuff for them because they live back east, and we wanted to get her something to remember this year. You know, she was born 12 years ago, so she would be the Year of the Dragon. And so for us, it's just coming here and seeing all the events and seeing what Disney has.
Other cultural activities include Chinese calligraphy and the wishing wall, where visitors can post their wishes for the new year.
The Lunar New Year is a great way to express the gratification for those that celebrate it. I love coming here. We have a Magic Key, we have the annual pass, and so we've come here, I think, 2 or 3 times during the Lunar New Year. So this is my first time doing the calligraphy. I'm going to be doing the wishing wall as well.
And of course, everybody's favorite part, the food. Many visitors get a variety pass that allows them to sample 6 traditional dishes from a variety of kiosks offering Asian cuisine.
The food is like, you know, the Christmas when they have the food, or the wine event when they have all the booths again. So it's nice having a lot of different little options to choose from.
For the happiest place on earth, as Disney likes to say, they hope to make it a pleasant start for all in the Year of the Long. It is Tianshan, CGTN, Anaheim, California.
And that'll do for this edition of Global Business here on CGTN. I'm Lily Lu in Beijing. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.